So that was your guys' turnover op.
Yeah.
Wow. So it was a kick in the dick to start.
Oh yeah, it definitely, especially like the new guys and stuff like that. We're like, holy shit, and you're close with your teammates and shit like that. So
Yeah.
But we had some good we had good leadership, and the dudes were down for a couple of days, but they were like, they fucking put us to work immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys fucking boots on the ground, just start running basically right out of the gate.
Yeah, that following week we were just right back at it again. Like, hey, we got ops to do.
Yeah. And what were they all pretty similar, or was there a wide variety, or?
All pretty similar. Kind of we try to expand our green zone outside our FOB, just building a relationship with local villages around. And then the majority of the operations we did were flyaway kind of type, kind of DA type missions where we go into cover of darkness. We put in some supporting elements on the high ground, and then put in a main element on the ground. And then we would have some target packages, but we would mainly do like village clearances. And we would just go in and kind of sweep the whole village looking for turds. So,
and was that were there times where it was heavy resistance, times with none? Like did that?
Yeah, I would say about 50-50. There was heavy on the first deployment. Majority of the time, these dudes would just pop off at us like from a distance.
Yeah.
They would see us coming and start to take shots. I would say they would attack the supporting elements on the high ground more than the main elements.
Really?
Because our SC positions, supporting positions would be on the high ground. It'd be small, like 3-4 man unit. And the majority of my first deployment, that's where I spent my time. The majority of my time were on mountaintops with like 2 other dudes. We had like a sniper, me, and an AW.
Yeah. So you'd have like a SAW or a 60?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were those contacts like? I mean, was it big groups like flanking you and moving, or just lobbing shit from?
I would say like 2 to 3 dudes, and some dudes got really close. Like they would shoot us from like other ridge lines across. I feel like they would see us like from a mile away.
Yeah.
We try to be, covert and sneaky, but
That's
I feel like these people just know.
Yeah.
Shit stands out on the mountaintop. They could they know the deal, and they know we're there. Especially if they know we're down in the village, they know we got something. We're watching them.
Yeah. Did you mix it up with them on regular occasions?
Oh yeah, yeah. Initially, when we first got there, I would say towards the tail end of the wintertime, we started to mix it up a lot with them.
Were there good successes with the main ground maneuvering element early on?
Yeah, we would.
And what does that look like?
I think at the time, the success looked like just the hearts and minds piece. Like that was their success in the mission set, especially going into my second one. Just expanding our green zone, our reach, our influence, and I would say that was the overarching type goal, but kind of like on the ground level, we had an impact on, getting rid of the Taliban that were there, the TB. So, by the time we left, we impacted the villages for sure. They wouldn't come in and fuck around with the locals or even try to fuck around with us.
Yeah. I'm curious in terms of like any of the instances where, let's say if you had to pick a closest call, I know you said that most of the time you were up in the supporting element, elevated positions. I guess either way, during that deployment, is there an operation that stands out for you personally that was like a closest call, and what happened?
Yeah, so I was in SE position. We weren't on a high piece, very too high, I would say, but looking down into the village where the guys were coming in, it was me and two other dudes. And we were just kind of, it was towards the sun was going down. These dudes like to hit us like right when the sun is cresting. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but maybe they thought that we were fucking most vulnerable then. We just call it tick 30 or whatever. Like literally every night they would do the same shit. But we were on an op and someone's about to go down. So we were kind of just whatever. We've been there all day. We're freaking smoked. And boom, just like that. I mean, they hit us with PKM to the point where we couldn't even move. I mean, it was like over our heads. We had to hunker down. We couldn't even fire back to them. And it took us forever to even find out where the hell it was coming from.
Wow. Was it one
no,
PKM or multiple?
No, it was a couple dudes. They were on the ridge just kind of north of us, like across the way, across the valley, but close. The ridge was close enough to where the rounds were effective.
Yeah.
Because I was down below, and we had our sniper kind of up on the top of a rock, so they had a higher position with two dudes. So we had him and this other guy, our A-dub, and me, the medic. I was just kind of below, just kind of spotting, looking for dudes. And all of a sudden, like, boom, they got stuck. I was kind of free. They saw them, not me. So they started fucking aiming their fire to them. My teammates couldn't move whatsoever. Like, they couldn't even get out of this little, they're in like this little rivet where they just hunkered down the best they could. Me, I ended up just grabbing the dude's A-dub because it was down there and fucking returning fire. And
could you see him?
I saw him at first. I couldn't figure out where the hell it was coming from. It wasn't until I ran on the backside of this rock and then peeked around that I could see where the rounds were coming from. But at first I was like, dude, I was looking down into the village. I was like, are they shooting up from high, low, whatever? But I couldn't find it. It took at least a minute or two for me to figure the fuck out. Yeah. So and by then I returned fire. There was a lull as I was returning fire, and then the dudes were able to fucking come back behind this like little rock ledge, and then we had Apaches come in at that time.
Yeah.
And then they fucking smoked them.
No shit.
Yeah.
Was your I mean, it sounds like your return fire was effective enough to get them to move, right?
Yeah, I think once they heard us returning fire, then like they copped out.
Yeah.
You know, the gig was up for them. I feel like that was like kind of like their MO.
Yeah.
They were. I would say that was lucky for them. They saw us before we saw them, and they were able to at least get rounds that were, I would say, effective. They're over our fucking heads. We had to hunker down. We couldn't move. So, yeah. But typically once we return fire, they just immediately stop or run away.
Yeah.
Because they know we're calling in air support immediately.
Which in this case, how long would you say from the time?
Probably within 5 minutes or something like that. We already had that on standby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apaches were the best.
How important are the Apaches?
I would say very important, especially on both my deployments. Like them and the Little Birds were everything.
Yeah,
yeah.
I had a female Apache pilot on. It's been a couple of years now, but yeah, that capability, especially for as old as that airframe is. I mean, not that it's super old, but it's dozens of years old. You know, it's not brand new technology. I mean, to me, similarly to the A-10, like that thing is still super fucking effective. And you know, I wonder, and I'm curious to get your take, if you were to remove air support entirely, you know, and you had to battle these guys just basically mano a mano with the gear that you have, which granted night vision is a pretty big fucking advantage, but even giving you that, do you think it would be almost even or even if you were to remove that?
I think it would take advantage away from us big time, and then their mindset would probably be different. I feel like they'd be more emboldened to do shit, at least come closer, toe to toe with us for sure. That being said, I don't think their ability or skill set's there as it pertains to like our SF abilities. But I know they get lucky. So, I mean, but I feel like they would be more emboldened because every time air support would come out, they would just dip out, ditch the weapon or whatever, and just kind of go on their mosey way because they're dressed like every other local there, you know. So,
but in this case, the Apaches managed to wax them.
Apaches all the time would just destroy. They would get kills left and right. I mean, it was ridiculous.
How many Apaches did you guys have kind of attached to you? Or how did it work that way?
Basically, they weren't attached to our unit. We would just utilize them in our AO. But, I mean, pretty much every op we went on, we would have at least that or the Little Birds. Yeah. Always.
Do you know from where your forward operating base was and where they were stationed, how far apart that was?
I believe they were in like Kandahar.
Oh, okay.
And so wasn't that far from where we were.
Yeah.
So not too far.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. On that same deployment, is there one mission that stands out as being the biggest success for you guys?
Yeah, we did this. The first time we did, it was a 72-hour op. We ended up doing like this massive like village clearance, pushing through. We were there for like 3 days, and we kind of just took over a compound. But it was successful in a sense where this area was just being ransacked of like TB and just problem after problem. And we teamed up with some SF dudes, and we linked up with them there. So it was in a sense of that, as far as clearing this village was huge. And an operation standpoint for our unit, it was big because it was the first time we ever did anything like that, as far as doing multiple nights in the village, where we kind of fortified. We took over this guy's compound. It was huge, but we ended up taking it over. We built like sandbagged it out, just fucking hunkered down and just owned it. And it was good in that sense, and a lot of lessons learned. But I feel like on the first point, that was probably our most successful one, and it was our funniest one because we ended up burning this like the guy's lifetime of firewood in like 2 days. Finding firewood in Afghanistan is like one of the hardest things to do. There's there's not really many trees, and
yeah. So what do they do to fucking keep warm then? They just,
I don't know. They have wood, but it costs a lot of money.
Yeah. So that shit's premium.
Oh yeah, it's premium. Everyone was getting sick and shit like that because we're on top of each other. It was pretty funny though. It was a pretty fun experience.
Was there any pranks? Any good pranks in the entire deployment?
Any good pranks?
Or hazings? Fuck it.
Oh yeah, okay. I got a hazing one. We're on our base. We're with other like an army unit, and one night, we're fucking wanted to mess with them. Not our own guys, but the army guys. So we would like lob smoke grenades in their fucking into their bee huts and stuff like that. And they shot like pencil flares over at us, and it was pretty funny. And I believe that night, dudes were. It was kind of like a chill night where having maybe a glass of whiskey or something like that. I don't know. I can't really recall. I don't condone it, but we had some fun that night. That was funny.